Boise State Esports Arena. Joining us for Week 5 of the PEC, where Boise State will be facing off against Kansas State in this week of Rocket League. My name is Bryce Jensen. As your host, I am joined by my co-host, Danner Hill, and I am incredibly excited about this match. We have two teams that are coming in off of a really strong game last week. Honestly, how do you think this one's going to go? Boise State is sort of in its recovery period after facing off against Baylor. Easily one of the toughest teams in this division. How do you think that's going to affect their play style and how they move forward from here?
I think all that the Boise State boys can do is just learn, progress. They take what they did last week and improve upon it. I mean, it was 0-3 loss against Baylor, respectively. Good job on Baylor, but at the same time, it was a one-goal game every single time. It was by no means a blowout, so I think that can be, they can build upon that. That's something that they can still have high hopes about, and they can go into this week with a better mentality.
Yeah, I 100% agree, especially because in our current state right now, we aren't in any sort of finals or still in match play. Wins and losses, while they do matter a little bit for what we should be taking out of these matches, in the end, we still have a lot of time to grow, learn, and prepare for the next matches to come ahead. And every loss is a learning opportunity. So I think if we're able to really focus in on that, we are able to come out a stronger team. But speaking on focusing in, let's take a quick look at our opponents for tonight, the Kansas Jayhawks. They are coming into this with a 2-2 record, one more loss than Boise State. And honestly, they are not in a bad spot at all. Currently, their roster is going to be Alpaca, Swift, and Meave. They took their losses against Michigan and Baylor while winning against Nebraska and Utah. And in these matches, we saw pretty good dominance in the ones that they won. Their new member, Meave, is a really good solo player. However, he does tend to struggle in the team play that a lot of these teams really need to sort of figure out. And I think that's going to be something that really comes back to bite them in the end. Being able to play together for as long as players like Alpaca and Swift have, you start to get a feel for each other. You start to know what everyone is going to do. And how do you think that's going to affect their overall play?
I think that it can be troublesome at times when especially you don't have that third player that's on the same page as you. You have two players with veterancy between each other that have played together, and then you have this newcomer, freshman, doesn't know how he's going to do against the team, and he's shown that during these last few weeks, and he's still improving. He's still showing what he can bring to the table and what he can do. I mean, we've seen a lot of solo plays out of him by what we've seen, but I think that if they can keep working with him, they can get him in that team play, team mentality, I think they can be a lot better.
Honestly, I'm really excited to see what happened tonight, especially off of the barn burner that was last week's playoff against Michigan or against Baylor. And I think that this is going to be an incredible game. We are having two really good players, Boise State coming off of some of the strongest in the league, and Kansas also coming off of some really tough games as well. And honestly, if there's one thing that you expect to see out of Kansas tonight, what would it be? Just out of gameplay.
Out of gameplay, I think that it's going to be, in terms of them, I think they need to have a strong offensive play and an even better defense. Because I think against Boise State, they're going to be struggling for at least some bonus management and defensive plays. I think they're going to be able to. They need to make sure that they are solid on both ends and that they can start offenses when they need to and try to put pressure on the Boise State.
All right. And before we go into the game, we actually do have a man-on-the-street interview with Jacob Palmer, and we're going to get to know just how much our players know about our opponents for this week.
And our next one.
Oh, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like this logo. This one is character.
That's the Kansas University Jayhawks.
What university is this bird home to?
Kansas University.
And where are they?
Kansas.
And
How about Topeka?
no, this is legitimately the hardest one of the night. No one's gotten it.
It's like all these like weird Midwest states.
Do you know where you live? Do you know where you live?
Can you think of any other city in Kansas besides Topeka?
Oh, Kansas City.
Kansas City.
I have no clue.
And I don't even have any clues for it. It's so tough. They're in Lawrence.
No. Lawrence. Okay.
Kansas.
I'm not even going to try
This is
here.
bad.
It's
This is-
Lawrence.
If I'm being honest, I couldn't even tell you where Kansas State University is. But here's a quick look at our current standings in Rocket League. Baylor topping the charts at 3-0. Boise State and Michigan State both coming in very close behind them at 2 wins, however, and 1 loss. And overall, we are starting to see the pack really pull away. We're starting to see the winners get farther ahead, and some of the weaker teams fall to the bottom.
Yeah, we are, and we're seeing that Kansas coming in at 2-2, Boise State that top 3. It's kind of a matchup here, bottom versus top. You're going to see kind of the discrepancy or like the difference between these two teams and kind of how they really are separated between the leaderboards.
Yeah, and I think that is really going to show it off tonight. But we also would like to show off our players very fast. Today we have Cade Hall, Emiliano Flores, Preston Ferrante, Gabriel Reynolds, and their coach, Coach Wayton.
This is the roster that you want to see.
Yep, Landon Swift, Kyle Maddox, and Maddox Stevie will also be playing on the Rocket League side.
That is the roster for
Kansas
Kansas.
side. Yes, not the Rocket. Or I guess it is Rocket League. But you know what else we need to talk about? Keys to the game. In Rocket League, understand rotations, bump opponents to disrupt, play walls better, and sweaty comms win the game. All of this, of course, brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting. Hey, esports fans, while you're here cheering for the best in gaming, let us introduce you to the MVPs of painting. Blue Ribbon Painting. With over 90 years combined experience, we are proud to be Boise State's local go-to team of local multi-generational painters who know exactly how to level up your home. Ready to transform your space? Visit blueribbonpainting.net to schedule your free estimate.
I always like to thank our sponsors here at Boise State Esports, especially Blue Ribbon Painting, making our arena look beautiful. But we are going to jump into this game 1, Boise State versus Kansas.
Overall, I am really excited for this game. Kansas has played us incredibly close in past years, and I do not expect anything different out of tonight. We are going to be looking at 2 teams who are really rebuilding their rosters, coming off of some tough losses and some tough wins, and how they go about this is really going to help them out. Starting off, Meade with the pass over to Boise State's goal line, gets the shot, Durtha blocks him off the crossbar, barely missed.
Barely missed, and Kansas, they're already on the offense like I was talking about just a moment ago. They got us get going. But now it's Woozy from the sidewall. Alpaca just trying to meet him with the 0 boost that he has. And now it's Durtha from the mid. Not going to quite connect with that one. Swift sending that one down for his teammate Meave. Sending that one long, just kind of giving it away. Preston already pre-jumping for the save. Yeah, good. Just trying to meet this one. Kansas, they're doing really good, and they're playing really fast on this ball to get Boise State off the ball.
Good positioning out of Boise State, just kind of being in the perfect spot to deny Kansas really any momentum. Durtho's still playing in the goal with a full tank of boost, is going to be able to take it up with Preston up around that left side. Swift tries to go for it, decides it's probably not worth it, as Alpaca's got the ball on their side of the court. Preston taking it up to the middle, off the crossbar. Meave goes up to intercept. No one really there to take it from him.
No one there, but Boise State able to play that one back to their own corner. Woozy from the ceiling now playing it down. Durtho's able to read this one. He's going to go to the ceiling, get a flip off of it, but Alpaca's able to read that and send it to the corner where Meave waits it out for 50 with Swift, and Woozy dunks on that one. Preston with a pre-flip.
What a play out of Preston. Wow, he came out of nowhere.
He really did. I mean, that initial 50, but Woozy getting that better one off of Swift, and Preston with the pre-flip.
Man, you talk about alley-oops, and most of the time people think of basketball, but that was the perfect description of one, but in a game with car soccer.
In a game with car soccer, indeed. Now Swift from his own side, taking it to the corner, trying to pinch it with Preston. Preston, though, able to stay more stable and get possession off this one, leaving it for Durtho. Off the sidewall is Alpaca. Durtho waiting very patiently, looking for a flipper set on target. Just wide. Meave now going to be able to take it out of the corner and maybe potentially start a Kansas offense.
And Meave does lose the ball. Alpaca manages to get it back. Durtho with a full tank of boost is not going to quite get there. The ball's going to bounce off the backhand. Swift with the ball, taking it up just above the crossbar. Woozy's there to take it away, though. Met by Meave. Preston and Durtho trying to double commit. Durtho's going to be the one who ends up with the ball. Swift misses! Meave with the save! Wow! Perfect positioning out of Kansas. What good defense.
And now it's Meave on the counterattack with a flipper set towards the close post. Woozy awkward, able to make the close angle 50. Preston with 0 boost, able to get it to the corner where Durtho awaits. But a double tap out of Swift is going to make it a little awkward before Durtho takes us away into the midfield, 50'd. And now it's Boise State on the offense. Meave with a pinch down midfield. Alpaca reading this one, sending it down. But that's the thing, Kansas, all they can do right now is they're sending it downfield. They don't have the receptions that Boise State is having. If they can get someone downfield to try and receive these balls, they might have a better opportunity. Close post shot again. I think that's the third one that's been hitting the crossbar.
Yeah, Boise State has just been in their goal line in the perfect spot at the perfect time to really deny anything that Meave is trying to set up. Swift and Alpaca have not been able to get it up to him, but there's an open goal. Alpaca scores it off the side, tying up the game. What a shot out of these players. Alpaca manages to thread the needle at the perfect time, and what a good bounce.
Great shot out of Alpaca, reading that ball and just getting there faster than any Boise State defender could reach. And now with the kickoff demo, it's going to be left for Swift. To the sidewall, I think he was trying to look for Alpaca, but no one was there. Alpaca able to cut that ball off. Meave going up early for this one, bouncing off the backboard. Uzi with time and control, able to send it out towards the mid.
Yep, Durtho's going to intercept the ball right in front of the goal. Manages to stop another one from coming through. No one really there to defend. Swift trying to get up to the ball, manages to get it before Durtho can do his patent-pending off the crossbar goal that he is so known for. Durtho, once again, trying to get the ball in the center field. Alpaca's going to dribble it over him, and Boise State is once again back on defense.
Back on defense, but I don't think they're too unfamiliar with this situation. Durtho now to the ceiling. One touch, waterfall down, playing for the 50. Meave with an even better controlled touch out of that sidewall. Preston just waiting for Alpaca's touch.
Yeah, we're just seeing really good defense out of both sides. Preston trying to get a little bit of a flip into there, but Meave is just sitting in that goal, ready to intercept at all times. Him and Alpaca trying to get things over. Preston is going to flip it over all the defenders, but Alpaca manages to get a good shot on goal. Durtho, not enough height, but luckily for him, bad angle from Kansas is going to lead to Woozy with a good shot on goal. But defense just too strong.
Too strong with a zero boost save. This one is going to be even closer. Meave now from the corner with about a half tank left in him. Preston trying to chase this one down, but no one in support for him. But instead it's going to be a double tap on the ground for Durtho.
Oh, a nice little love tap sends that ball straight into the goal. Swift tried to get it away, but instead teeing it up. Meave with just barely not enough boost to get back. That was textbook how you score a goal right there. You just wait for the defenders to make one small mistake, and then bang, you capitalize on it.
I don't think it was even a mistake. It was just Durtho being faster to that ball, pre-jumping that one just as quick, and just like that, they're going to go right back to where they're comfortable.
Ooh, a demo onto Meave. It's going to make it a little bit harder to push that ball up. He's back in play, though. Alpaca with the ball up on the right side, dribbling it over to Boise side of the field, passes it over. No one's there to intercept, though. Durtho with the ball, trying to take it up, going to be intercepted by Swift, but Woozy there to back him up. Ball is once again back on Kansas side as the clock ticks down to 30 seconds remaining. Kansas needs a goal right here in order to secure themselves in overtime, give themselves a chance at a point here. Preston with the ball on that backside, going to pass it over once again.
Great follow-up out of Preston. Even though with no boost, he's still going to follow up on that one. And a close double out of Durtho is going to be able to buy time. Now closing in on 10 seconds left here. Boise State shot out of Uzi. Close post. Saved out by Swift. Preston maybe another follow-up out of the corner. Maybe looking for a teammate. Durtho in the mid for support. Meave sending it long, but nobody on the side of Kansas has boost. And they're not going to be able to reach this one.
Balls.
And this one's going to float, but Alpaca no boost. Unless he can grab that mid boost and keep it up. But he misses. I think that's going to be a Boise State win. There it is. That one's going to touch the ground. Boise State are going to take game one 2-1 and start their lead.
But what a good play out of Kansas, though. We saw. I remember you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. None of these games have been really large margins. But before we go into the post-game summary, I would like to give a thanks to our sponsors, ICCU, for their continued support of Boise State Esports. Thanks to ICCU, Boise State Esports has won multiple national championships and piled up more than 1,500 wins. ICCU, looking after your daily balance. Visit ICCU.com for more information.
I feel like you got to look at that game one and think, okay, that was solid. That was good, especially after last week. Especially like it was that close last week, but this week I think already off the bat they're doing a lot better, especially on offense. They're keeping their pressure up and they're keeping their shots up. There's a lot of time when they're being forced onto defense, but the thing is with Kansas, they're not having that. They're not having a man downfield to receive and to continue pressure. Where Boise State, they're keeping their boost management up and they're able to get clears down to another man downfield, which is what they've been tried and true about. They've been able to make receptions downfield and start offenses and keep pressure compared to Kansas, who is kind of struggling on that.
Yeah, and also the fact that Boise State is able to get more demos more efficiently. They're picking out key targets. Meave was constantly under fire from the demos. They know that he's one of the best solo players on their team. They also know that he may not be able to play as well in the team coordination, so they single him out. 2 players can't do the work of 3, and Boise State is knowing how to exploit that weakness in them. As we move into game 2, Alpaca starting off strong with Preston going to be taking the ball away from him. Still in Boise State's corner, Meave once again with the ball, gives it to Swift for a shot, but Woozy with a good save on goal.
Durtho, full control. Makes the initial 50, but Meave, no boost to follow up. Preston has to play it out with no boost. Just trying to buy time for his teammates to grab something in their tank. Meave with an awkward touch into the mid. Alpaca able to grab that mid boost, but no follow-up touches out of that one. Preston now controlled into the corner, looking for a teammate, gets a bump on one. Woozy may be able to charge on in, but instead waits for the sidewall.
Yeah.
Preston having to race back for that corner boost, and Boise State should be able to keep up the
Nice.
offense here.
Yeah, Durtho with a good demo onto Alpaca is going to open up a really good opportunity to get the ball forward, but Meave is there to take it from him. Preston manages to get the full boost. Boise State doing really good on their boost management, allows him to make some plays. A good flip reset from Durtho, brings it over to the goal. Meave scores on his own goal. Durtho manages to get the first goal of the game. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that that is going to be your Dairy West unbottled play of the game. Refuel, reform, recover. Visit unbottled.com for more information.
And I think that's deservedly so, the unbottled play of the game. Durtho with it being all flashy and whatnot, which is what he usually does, adds on to his highlight clips. But here we go, now into the midfield. Durtho again, sending it out wide. Meave with control and a quick flick to the sidewall. Trying to follow up on his own touch, but isn't going to happen. Preston having to avoid the demo, takes it up to the sidewall, but now with 0 boost. Looks for a teammate in support. Boise State, they're looking to continue their offense and continue piling on to this lead.
Yeah, Woozy out of boost, manages to get it to the corner right in front of the goal. Nobody makes the commit though. Probably for the best. Alpaca and Meave were still playing really good defense. Durtho tries to tee it up, but it's missed by Preston. Having to move right back around. Durtho and Woozy trying to play a little bit of defense. Managed to get it cleared over to the Jayhawks side of the board. Broncos looking for another goal here, but Meave is going to take it, and Alpaca's really messing with the movement. Something that Kansas has been doing really well is kind of bumping around Boise State, but just not quite enough to stop those goals from coming through.
No, not really. And I think their aggression is definitely a good start for Kansas, but they got to keep it up and they got to make sure that they can have that offensive pressure like I was talking about, because right now it's just another bang into the corner where Preston waits, grabs corner, and now has full possession and a potential open net on this one. Alpaca has to race back.
He gets there.
But Preston grabs the corner boost, and that's huge for Boise State to continue the boost starving.
Yeah, Woozy once again with the ball, manages to pass it up, missed by Swift, can't quite get to it. Meave is able to defend though. Alpaca once again shooting it back. Durtho just a little bit too far under the ball. Actually gets demoed before he can do anything with it, but Preston's already back and is playing really good defense. Swift does get the 100 boost out of the corner, but is not quite able to get possession of the ball. Meave and Alpaca both racing back, trying to prevent any sort of offensive pressure. Meave taking the ball up, isn't able to. Woozy is not quite able to get there, but he is stopped in the midfield.
Oh, and this one opportunity. Meave, not that much boost. Flipper set out of Preston to the backboard, saved out. And now it's Durtho's turn from the sidewall. Meave still at 0 boost, not really able to make too good of a challenge on this, but enough to get Durtho off the ball. Now it's Swift's turn, taking it slow, but Preston not going to give him the time and respect that he wants. Durtho continuing this Boise State offense, making sure that now crossing 2 minutes, Boise State are wanting to take this game to a win.
Yeah, Boise State's done a really good job just playing aggressively. Durtho with the ball right in front of the goal. No one was there to score it, which could have been detrimental to the Jayhawks. Woozy taking the ball back to the midfield, stopped by Meave. Durtho with the ball once again, teed up right in front of him, trying to do something here. Manages to stop Alpaca in his tracks. Preston taking the ball right in front of the goal. No one's there. Probably for the best, just a little bit too high up to do much with. Meave taking the ball up, teed off by Woozy. Gets taken away from the goal. Still playing in the midfield. Durtho with possession of the ball.
Almost gets the sidewall double. That would have been insane, but now Woozy waiting for Alpaca's touch. Just a simple one to the sidewall, able to play time, trying to get it over Meave. Assuming that he might not have too much, but enough to make that 50. Durtho sending that one high. Preston pre-jumping this one. They'll go for the double. Pass out to Woozy. Crossbar. And in.
Oh, thank goodness. Preston expands the lead 2-0.
I like the initial double here. Pass out to Preston, but the crossbar down. Wasn't quite what they were expecting, but Preston able to land and solidify that one. Boise State are going to go up 2-0 with a little over a minute left, looking for match point.
Thing bouncing around in the goal. I'm surprised it didn't do more. Meave with a little bit of a fake out results in an overcommit from Preston, but he still does get the boost, so it wasn't all bad in the end. Woozy taking it away from Swift, trying to get to the other side of the field. Durtho with the ball. It's going to be stopped by Meave, who's playing that sidewall really well. He has been all game, just not able to clear it very well. Swift with the ball right in front of the Boise State goal line. Woozy with the clear back over. We're playing on Jayhawk's side, and Preston with another goal from the side.
Here's the thing. That's just a lurk. Preston, he realizes his teammate has possession, so he's not going to fully rotate. He's going to stay in the midfield and stay for a pass, and just like that, he's going to capitalize on an open net out of Kansas. And with 45 seconds left, Boise State have done more than secure this game.
Yeah, Boise State currently sitting at 3-0 with almost 30 seconds left on the clock. They can afford a few mistakes, but you don't want to get used to that. You want to keep playing clean, like Boise has been the entire game. Woozy, once again, clearing it over to the Jayhawks side of the field. Broncos looking to make this lead expand even more so than it already has. Alpaca takes the ball, passes it over to Meave, manages to get it over Preston, but not before a bump comes through, messing up the strategy. Woozy's going to take the ball away. Durtho with a good save inside the goal, and that ball is getting passed over to Kansas side of the field once again.
Preston, him and Woozy just trying to buy time. Maybe a last second shot here off the ball. Meave! Almost off the ground and in, but now Durtho from the sidewall. They're just trying to pile it on. Flipper set and saved out by Meave. But still, Boise State are going to take a 3-0 win here in game 2 and put themselves onto match point.
A lot more dominant of a showing out of Boise State in this second game, being able to gain ball control and keep it. And they were really starving for the boost the entire game. Like, it was crazy. And we'd also like to give a quick shout out to our sponsors at the Boise State Expanded Studies. Get your degree on a schedule that works for you. Boise State Extended Studies offers a variety of fully online courses and degrees to get your degree on your schedule. Visit boisestate.edu/extended studies for more details.
I mean, this basically just tying into what I was talking about before game 1 even started. It's offensive control and boost starving prevention that Kansas needs to focus on, and right now they're still struggling on that. Boise State, they're doing what I thought they would. They're piling on the offense, they're piling on the goals, and they're continuing to boost starve and keep them at minimal boost to make sure that they can't do anything on the field.
Yeah, honestly, Kansas just seemed gummed up the entire game, not really able to get anywhere really fast. Boise State was able to get around the field so quickly, be able to rotate on a dime, and Kansas wasn't quite able to recreate that, and I feel like that really came to bite them in the end. As we move into match point, Boise State currently leads 2-0. This could spell doom for Kansas if they don't figure out a way to get that boost back.
If they don't figure out their boost management here, this could spell trouble indeed, especially with match point on the line. And now crossing the halfway point in the PEC, you're looking at potentially a negative record going into that second half.
Yeah, not quite what you want to see, and I feel like Boise State has done a really good job this game at improving upon a lot of what they struggled with last week. I mean, last week was an incredibly close game, but we're starting to see them rotate a little bit back. We're starting to see people lurking in better places. We're starting to see better boost management, and I feel like Kansas just is not able to really get on the same track that Boise State is currently on. Also, we've been seeing it in their shots. Kansas has not really been able to pass it to better people. They've been passing it downfield, sure, but no one's really there to rescind on it.
Yeah, it's the same thing I've been talking about the last 2 games. They're sending it downfield, but no one is there to receive and start an offense. It's just a bang downfield to where these Boise State players can receive and start an offense of their own, and they are conditioned enough and have played long enough together that they know what to do, especially from the sidewall, midfield, whatever it may be. They are going to have players in position to start offenses.
Yeah, and they just need to communicate maybe just a little bit better, find spots where everybody can get in as we move into what could be the final game. Boise State match point. Preston with the first touch, sending it off to the left-hand side. Meave going to be taking the ball right into the Boise goal line with Preston. Once again, just right where he needs to be.
There's the mechanical prowess out of the young gun that we were expecting to see here, getting that double flipper set on target to send Boise State into the defense early. Meave now receiving that one off the backboard, looking for a teammate here is Woozy. Not going to get them, but Meave able to send it out. Once again, Durtho cutting that one off and continuing. Boise State off and shot on target! It's going to go!
Oh, Alpaca. More like alpaca my bag and leave because he wasn't able to quite get there in time. Just barely too late.
Saw the initial commit out of Swift onto Durtho, but it didn't reach. Boise just getting a quick shot there. But
what was that?
Was that pinched?
Swift really living up to his name with a 1-second goal off the kickoff. Pinched it off of Woozy into the goal. No one was expecting that. Kansas ties it up 1-1. We are less than 30 seconds into the game, This is crazy.
This is just like a match reset. Like, we're back to 0-0 at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think 30 seconds is too much to talk about, but with still 1-1 scoreline. Quick flick up.
Flips it a little too
Swift
high.
with a follow, still high. Durtho able to take it to the corner, looking to pinch it out. Going to leave it for Preston, sending it high. Just trying to buy time here. Oh. Tries to pre-jump this one, but Woozy able to make an easy save, and now Preston is going to try to get this one out the best he can, try to get Boise State on the offense.
Yeah, Preston trying to take it over. Durtho isn't quite able to get up to the ball, but Woozy is. He's taking it over the side. Kansas goal line
what
is
a
completely
reset!
open, but Meave with the save, just barely. What a save out of Kansas. Boise State may need to work just a little bit harder to get the second goal. Of course, I say that, and then Preston comes out of nowhere. What a score!
Definition of simplicity will get you goals. Sometimes it's just a shot on net instead of a fancy flipper set.
I feel like
regardless,
I feel like we should start doing what the Europeans do in football or football. See.
I'm just gonna keep yelling because
Yes, that's more natural.
these players are hyping me up. They're getting me excited here. Boise State, they're reinstilling some faith after last week. And now they're looking strong. With 3.5 minutes left to go, up by 1. Boise State are going to try to continue this scoreline.
Yeah, you do only need to be up by 1, but it doesn't hurt to be up by 2 or more just to give yourself that little bit of insurance. Woozy with the demo onto Swift is going to leave it a little bit easier to get it out. Durtho doesn't quite get to the save, but luckily for him, it just shoots right outside the net. Alpaca tries to tee it up, but no one's there to rescind. Nobody has any boost.
Preston out of the corner, getting a double. Swift able to send it out for just a little bit. Ended up getting an awkward touch, so Durtho couldn't quite root the ball the way he wanted to. Able to get some mid boost. Woozy trying to play defense, making the initial challenge, and Durtho with the follow-up. And it's going to be Preston's turns with minimal boost here. Able to still get it out. Grabs a corner
and he
boost.
steals it.
That's good. Now it's Preston's turn. Flipper set early. Gets it above 1. Meave still reading it, actually. I think the pre-jump was able to be delayed and still make a touch. And now it's Kansas. They're looking for an offense. They're trying to tie that, trying to tie the game again.
Yeah, Preston looking to capture this ball. Needs a little bit of help from Durtho. Manages to get it out, but Swift manages to weave in between all the defenders. Preston going to save the ball. It was a good shot from Meave. Unfortunately, not going to quite get there. Alpaca passes it over to Swift. Back to him. Durtho taking the ball up towards the midfield, going to be received by Woozy. Nobody's in the goal. Swift is there, though, with full boost. Going to flip it over, but Meave, once again, in the perfect place at the perfect time.
I gotta say, even though we were talking about Meave being a solo player and how he's still acclimating to this team, he's doing really well on the defensive end and making sure that Kansas are staying alive, especially in these close quarter situations. Now Preston sending this one out of the corner, looking for a follow-up. Maybe, no, Durtho, it's gonna be him to take it to the other side of the field. Looking for a corner boost, not going to get it, but instead a demo onto Meave. He's going to be able to open up the other end of the field, and Boise State are looking to try to continue their offense. Maybe this one off the ground. That one's just going to go in!
What a shot! Durtho manages to sneak one over. Boise State extends their lead 3-1. Wow, what a pinch. Just right over him. My lips are too dry. I couldn't get the perfect pop, but you knew what I mean. We are just under 2 minutes to go, and Boise State has themselves an iron grip on this game so far.
And with a 2-goal lead, you got to say that's pretty dominant. This one almost rolling on in. Coming off the post here, Woozy up quick, shot down, pass to Preston. It's picture perfect, and Boise State are going to go up by 3 with 1.5 minutes left to go. Looking for the sweep.
Almost a good worm burner there, right on the ground, but luckily Woozy manages to tip it down to Preston once again, scoring another goal. Just the teamwork from these guys has been incredible this game, being able to pass it to one another incredibly effectively. Unfortunately, the demo is going to come through. Kansas is going to be up a player, but Woozy is just going to throw it over to Preston, scoring a hat trick. What a way. What a way to score a hat trick, too, off of 2 completely uncontested goals. Kansas is just making a lot more mistakes than usual, and I think it's the pressure starting to get to them.
I think it's also time running down. They're trying to get offenses going, but in turn, they're overextending, and Boise State are just making these early challenges that are beating them out and getting goals.
Durtho taking the ball away, not letting Kansas offense really start anything. Off the wall, passes it to Woozy on a full tank. Boise State, once again, has all the boost in the world, while Kansas has none. A good shot on the goal, but it's going to go to crossbar. Preston tries to get it back, but Alpaca's going to take control. Durtho with a shot on goal. Meave, once again, just sitting on the floor, manages to get it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I thought that was going to be it. I saw the vision. I saw the woozy pass into a pre-jumping Dirtho out of the opposing corner. I thought that was going to be in, but just barely off. I don't think it's going to matter, though. 5-1 with 45 seconds left. Boise State have instilled themselves back into this game, and especially this conference. They're getting themselves another win here today.
Yeah, it's going to take a miracle for Kansas State to come back from this, especially with less than 30 seconds left on the clock. They are going to be, it's going to be hard for them to come back here.
Absolutely, but Swift trying to get control here. Gets away from him, and Dirtho, he's going to buy some time. He's going to take it out of the corner. He's going to make simple dribble. Could do it with Meave and just send it out. Boise State, they're looking for time. And with 10 seconds left and 4 goals to go, I don't think Kansas is going to get anywhere near this. Boise State are going to be able to take this game 3-0 and add another win to their tally here in the PEC.
Oh, they almost got another one to finish it out. But what a game out of Boise State, ending off the final one, 5-1. Man, we just saw the dominance of Boise State really grow throughout the matches. First match, incredibly close game, 2-1. Second match, a little bit farther on the spectrum, 3-0, and then finishing it out with a 5-1 win. But congratulations to Boise State for their 3-1 victory here in the PEC, and congratulations to Kansas State. They fought hard, just Boise State fought that little bit harder.
They really did, and I think with Boise State, they have that veterancy like we've been talking about. They've been playing together for several years now, and they know what they're doing, and I think it's just a different level.
We would also like to give a thank you to the Idaho Air National Guard. What if you could pursue your college or your dream career while serving your country and getting amazing benefits? The Idaho Air National Guard, just 1 weekend a month, 8 months out of the year. You'll get a tuition assistant, signing bonuses, healthcare, zero-down home loans, and high-tech job training, all while keeping your civilian life, job, and goals right here in Idaho. Whether you're studying, working, or building your future, the Guard enhances it all while giving you leadership skills and lifelong connections. Ready to have it all? The Idaho Air National Guard is your pathway to education, career success, and purpose. But yeah, overall, a really dominant showing, and it's what Boise State needed after last week's game against Baylor. They struggled in the last one, was the hardest fighting that we've ever seen them have to do, and then to come into this game and win it in such a fashion is definitely going to spark a lot of confidence in this team, and I'm really happy to see where they go from here.
Absolutely. I think this is definitely a big improvement for them. I think that this is the step that they needed to be able to come back into this, to get some more morale going, get that upward trend back rolling. I mean, before Baylor last week, they were undefeated, hadn't dropped a series to anyone. But now they're going to just try to continue that. They're going to try to forget Baylor. They're going to leave them for the spring, and we're just going to keep on rolling.
Yeah, they're just going to be put to the side. But you know what we're not going to put to the side? We actually have a top 5 plays of the game for you coming up right after this. But don't go away just yet. We still have Mountain West against Nebraska or Nevada. And we also have a quick interview with one of our Rocket League players. So make sure you stick around for that. But in the meantime, please enjoy the top 5.
Hello and welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena, where we just got done watching Boise State battle Kansas in the PEC Week 5 game where they took it in 3-0 fashion. I'm joined by one of the only players here, Preston. How are you doing, and how are you feeling after that 3-0 win?
Doing pretty well. We came in pretty confident and just did what we know we could. Just took it 3-0. A few goals scored on us, but we overall felt pretty comfortable, pretty happy with how it went.
Good, and we saw last week, and I'm going to touch on this just a tad, against Baylor, that 0-3 loss. As close as that was, though, I feel like that was definitely the toughest game that you guys will have played yet in the PEC. How are you guys feeling after last week?
Last week obviously didn't go as we wanted it to, losing 0-3, though every game is close except for game 1. I believe it was a 1-goal game, going to overtime. We learned a lot, though. We didn't have our best day. Though I think we can definitely compete with teams like that, and even though we lost, there's definitely things to learn, which we definitely did.
Now, looking forward, we're probably gonna play them again in the spring season. Do you see that result being any different?
Yes, definitely. We've played Baylor through scrims many times. We're definitely at that level, and I think on any given day we can definitely beat them. So I think we'll get them next time.
I love the confidence, and I love to hear that out of you guys. One last question to send it off, and we're going to be looking at this as well. You guys were playing so confident here today. You guys were cranking out goals left and right, especially in that Game 3. You and Woozy especially were passing to each other a lot. It was a lot of pre-jumps and a lot of early goals. Does that really put some extra confidence in you guys going into the rest of the PEC season?
Yeah, definitely. When we can come out and score goals, like passing plays like that, it's really a confidence booster that we are all connected, and one team that's connected obviously is going to win games. So it's it was a great sign.
Absolutely, and it's lovely to see, especially when you, Woozy, and Dirthel all have several years under your belts together as a team. I think that ultimately played a difference in this matchup. Do you think that overall that puts you guys ahead above some other teams?
Definitely, yes. I think it also helps that we're all just even great friends outside of the game. Being here multiple years together, we just build a connection and build chemistry. That really helps us beat teams that are at the top.
And I'm going to end this with one more thing. We are now the halfway point of the PEC, pretty much. We have 4 weeks left of play. You already have your bye under your belt, so you're looking at 4 more weeks with 4 more teams. How are you feeling about that?
Looking forward to it. I think we got the hardest match out of the way of Baylor, and bouncing back with a match like this one, 3-0, is really a confidence booster. Looking forward to the rest of the games this season.
Well, I think we are just as much looking forward to the rest of these games. So I thank you, Preston, for your time, and we thank you guys for joining us for this. But stay tuned. We do have another game on the docket. We have Boise State versus Nevada in the Mountain West. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Idaho's Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
Let me show you what I got.
With the Dairy West Fueling Station, we really wanted to create a place that our players could come and be fueled and hydrated in a healthy way, fuel their minds, fuel their bodies so they can compete at the highest level. Jerry West has really allowed us to do that, and we're excited to see what this space turns into. This is only phase one. There's many iterations to come. It's truly unique in college esports, and we're excited to see how that continues to evolve. We're really thankful for Jerry West's support and look forward to continue working with them.
Let me show you what I got.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. Is finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great? Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits that help you life better. Because being human is a full-time job.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.